Intuitive viewers, how is everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. It's Kim. I hope everyone's having a good or had a good weekend. I guess it's almost over now. I just wanted to kind of check in and give you guys some tidbits that I got. I recently did a video with Celestial Kris, and so I had promised him that I would do a video, and so we did like a few political questions, just kind of talked a little bit about that. And I had people specifically asked me about the rest of the Trump family, and they asked me about Kamala Harris, and so we did those on that channel, and then a few other ones that might be interesting to you. So that's Celestial Kris, and it was a good conversation. You know, Kris reads very differently than I do, and he has a very different take on things, but I personally like that because I like to just kind of go with it and see what happens. And it was interesting because he gets things on he gets things in certain ways that I don't. And I think part of it is the way that I read. I read very emotionally, so I feel a lot of things. And so we kind of hit all the marks because of the way that we read, and we're very different people, so we read very differently. So I just thought you might find it interesting, and it's, you know, this is, to me, this is all an experiment, and you know, especially with the channel, you know, doing what I think keeps things interesting and might give you even more information, you know, because I know a lot of people are very anxious right now still, even though, you know, Biden's coming in, Trump is leaving. It's still kind of an anxious time for people. So that is there if you'd like to see it. And I wanted to give you a few things to look at, and then I'm going to get to some important stuff. So I do have some stuff for you guys. Okay. So the first thing I want to tell you about is Cami at Alchemy Ranch Studios. And I'll post it below. You can look and see her beautiful paintings. She has prints available, and they're a limited edition. So they're beautiful though. They're all of animals, and she does. I love her wolf paintings. If you have a spirit animal, you might look and see if she does your spirit animal. But they're really beautiful. The colors are really interesting, and I love how she kind of merges the paints of the animal with the background. They're very original. So anyway, check those out and give her, you know, thumbs up and pat her on the back for starting her website, getting it up and running, and wish her luck. And that's really what this is about. This is about supporting each other and helping each other and making each other feel like what we do is relevant and important, and that it's supported. It's supported by all of us. We need to support each other, right? So there's that. I also wanted to kind of make you aware of a YouTube channel called Cathara's Cards of Life on YouTube, and she does weekly readings just to kind of help people, support people to get through this time. So she kind of just reads on the week what we should be looking at, and they're very uplifting readings. So it'd be something you could look at. And again, it's kind of getting in on the ground floor of something, which I always find fun. And again, it's just to show support. Just say thumbs up, good job. Maybe subscribe if you feel like it. I always think subscribing, you know, it's just something nice to do. It puts people's numbers up a little bit, and it just helps them know that they've got support out there with what they're trying to do, especially if it's just trying to do something positive in the world. We just need that so much right now. The other thing I wanted to tell you was that Terry, a subscriber, is taking her pet Dolly, it's D-A-L-I, to the vet, is having some health issues. So she just asked for prayers for Dolly. Okay. I think it's a doggy. I think it is a doggy, but it's her name's Dolly. So just, if you can, remember some prayers for Terry and her little pet Dolly, and that she'll be well and doing well. Okay. All right. So let's get down to the stuff I wanted to tell you. I have a few people that asked me to look at a few things. Tammy asked me to look at Stacey Abrams and the Georgia races, and if there was going to be any traction for overturning the presidential election. No, because that isn't what they're actually trying to do. They're not trying to do that. I feel that it's more to raise money, keep people excited for the Georgia race. It's bad though. It's not good karma that they're creating for themselves by doing that, because they're really putting they're questioning our democracy, and that's bad of them to do. So it's bad karma for them. More bad karma, I should say, because they've already got a lot coming towards them, but more bad karma. So no, I don't see any traction with that. And Stacey Abrams, she is, I feel like she's busy. She's really, I just heard the word forefront. She's at the forefront of this, trying to get these seats in Georgia. She's pushing for it, and it seems like she's almost like she's in charge of it. I mean, she's very involved, very, very involved, and is determined to get these seats in Georgia. She's very, very determined. A lot of this stuff goes back to her own race, where she feels like she won. She would have won if it weren't for being disenfranchised. And she just kind of put that anger into something positive. She flipped the state of Georgia. I mean, she really was responsible for that. So she's amazing, but they're putting her at the forefront of this, and she is so determined, and she's so she's a very strategic thinker. She's very good at thinking strategically where the votes need to come from, zeroing in on certain areas. She's very good at that. So we have a very, very good shot at turning these two seats. Let me put it this way. I believe we're meant to turn these two seats, and I think we should. There is going to be an awful lot of cheating and disenfranchising going on, though. And so I just want to make you aware of that can throw things sometimes. I believe that's what happened with Texas and Florida. Those are the only two states that I didn't get right on my map. Not that I'm bitter about it. I'm not bitter at all, but because at the time I said Texas, Georgia, and Florida, I felt were so on the line that I just made them blue because I wanted to manifest it. And Georgia was great. I mean, that one got manifested, but the other ones, I just feel like there was a lot of disenfranchising, even just Florida, especially. I feel like they just threw out votes. So, yeah, it was pretty. I think these things will come out, but it's pretty bad. It's bad for us, and bad for democracy. So that was bad on them. Very bad on them. So Pam had a question about Fox News, and will they kind of be in the way of kind of deterring us from getting any meaningful legislation through the Biden administration? And for some time, I've seen Fox having some legal battles coming. I even feel like there might be a bigger class action suit or something that goes to the Supreme Court. That's just what came to me when I looked at it, because I already looked at this earlier. And that's what I got, was there was some kind of, it felt like a big case, but I felt like it went all the way to the Supreme Court. So, and I feel like it's something about it's something about like missing, kind of like yelling fire in a crowded theater. It's like free speech, but it, there's something about, you know, causing harm or something like that. It's to do with how they cover like coronavirus and stuff like that. So that's what I'm seeing for Fox. I feel like there's something coming that's kind of a bigger case, but it goes to the Supreme Court or a higher court, you know, maybe the state Supreme Court or something. But that's what I see for Fox. And I feel like there are going to be some legislation that we get through. Like I said, I was shown that Kamala Harris would be like the deciding vote on some things. Joe Biden has a lot of friends, and he has a lot of friends in the Senate. He's very well connected when it comes to world leaders, in a way that Barack Obama wasn't, because he was so new. But Joe Biden's a little bit different. He does have a lot of connections and a lot of ways to connect to people that he's known for a long time. So I do feel like he'll be able to shave off like a 2 or 3 votes to get where we want to go. And there might be some Republicans a little more willing to play ball than other Republicans. So I feel like he's going to be able to do this. And I feel like Mitch McConnell, I don't think he's going to be there very long. I don't see him making it like 6 years in the Senate or whatever it is. You know, I feel like he may be there another year, maybe. There's going to be a lot of investigations, and I'll get into that. I want to get into that and do that live, because I was getting some things. But I did want to tell you that. So those were kind of the viewer questions. So I hope I answered them enough. So I did get kind of a bigger message, and if you remember, you know, before the pandemic, I was getting messages about that we would have people leaving in groups, passing away in groups. A lot of people, we'd have a lot of animals passing away in groups. That this was kind of an unearthing period, that we were going to have a lot of the muck come up, basically a lot of the issues, problems. And this was part of what needed to happen for us to change things and fix things. That was last year at some point. I think it was last like January or something. It was around this time, but last year. So this is another kind of message like that. So you know, Spirit, and this is one thing I want to tell you guys, and I think I've said this before. Spirit is never going to freak you out, scare you. So when I get these people that send me like, you know, look at this, you know, YouTube thing. What do you think? You know, it freaked me out. It scared me and stuff. Right then, just the fact that you're scared by it, it unnerved you. There's something wrong. There's something not quite right. Either they're not quite translating it in the right way, or they're getting something wrong, or they've misunderstood something. And that's very easy to do in this position. I mean, you know, we're human beings, and we're trying to translate information we're getting in a very strange way that's imperfect. And so the messages, I think, are always correct, but we're people, and we misinterpret things, or our minds might mix it with something else, or think we're, you know, just not understand what the message is, and try to get something out of it anyway. I mean, we don't have the whole message yet, and we, you know, go out haphazardly and, you know, or haphazardly and just give, you know, half the information. So it's not complete. But if you ever come across videos like that and they leave you feeling nervous, worried, anxious, upset, anything like that, know that that is not really what spirit does. Spirit usually, even if they have to deliver news that's a little hard, they're going to do it in a way that is gentle and letting you know that they're there for you, and they're that you'll make it through this, and things like that. They'll try to couch it in a way that is not going to freak you out. It's going to be like, okay, this is coming. I got it. We'll deal with it. That's this kind of message. So I'm just letting you know. So the message that I got is that we're almost to the end of this unearthing period. That was going to be the hardest period, okay? They're talking about the next couple of months are going to be very difficult. It's kind of like things sort of come to a head as far as the pandemic. There's going to be a lot of cases rising, people passing away. But you know what to do. You know to wear your mask when you go out. You know not to have a bunch of family over for Thanksgiving. You know, do not to do those things to keep yourself safe, right? You know those things. So because you know that, do those things. Be smart. You know, do what you know that you need to do. But know that there are going to be a lot of people, like we've seen with the Trump White House and like the MAGA crowd, and even at the big, it wasn't a million MAGA march, but like the 1,000 MAGA march, that there was a lot of maskless people and stuff. So, but this is going to be kind of coming to a head. But they want you to know that this is the end of this kind of unearthing period. So that's what they want you to know. And that's kind of what Christmas, I feel like, is going to mark. Because I was talking about how Christmas is kind of like there's an exhale that happens at Christmas time, that it feels like we've kind of moved past something. I feel like by then, it looks very good for, the transition, and things have changed in some way at that point. We'll feel it. Okay. But the next few weeks are going to be a little bit rough. And they're just going to kind of be a continuation of what we've seen, but it's going to kind of come to a head. Okay. When they showed me this, I was asking them about the Biden administration and how things would change after this, because they were talking about the way that it would change a lot in the new year and going forward, and that we'd really be in this shifted state. And it's not going to be overnight. I don't want to make it sound like everything's going to be great overnight, but it is like things will just kind of get progressively better. And then at some point, which I think will be around the end of summer, it is kind of like everything's really good right now. Everything's really good. It feels good. So I just want to let you guys know that. And a few things they wanted me to tell you. One is that in January, around January, to me, it feels like the end of winter, so maybe February. I don't feel like it's right in January. I think it's like February, the end of February, the trials begin. They were talking about the trials begin. I kept hearing that. And it's these investigations, looking at different senators and different money things that RNC has done, the kids at the border. There's going to be a lot of investigations and trials going on for the year. And a lot of information is going to come out. And that's when a lot of the healing and a lot of the justice and the consequences come to people who have done awful things. So that is what we're going to be doing over the next year, maybe longer. What Spirit told me about that is that we're basically, a lot of the nation, not all of the nation, because some people have loved this period of Trump. They think it's wonderful. Most of us are going to be suffering from kind of a collective PTSD. So they said, look at the stages of PTSD, because that's kind of what we're going to be going through as a country. Even nightmares. They said we're going to have that. We'll have like not collective nightmares, but people will like go to therapy and stuff, talking about nightmares about Trump and about the Trump era and things like that. Even that kind of stuff will be like PTSD. If you've ever been in a abusive relationship or had abusive parent or something, all of this stuff with Trump probably triggered a lot of that stuff. So my guides were just saying, like, this is like a collective PTSD that we'll all be going through, and we'll be working through it through that's what the trials will help us to work through, because we'll see and understand what happened, and we'll also be able to see consequences being delivered and justice being delivered. I don't know who the new Attorney General will be, but they told me that this Attorney General is going to be thorough and unafraid. So I think that tells you everything you need to know. Hopefully it tells you everything you need to know. It made me feel so good knowing that they just said he's going to be thorough. And I say he, I guess it's a man. We'll see. It could be a woman. I mean, I don't know. But they said that they will be thorough and they will be unafraid. So they're going to go after whoever they need to go after. I did see a lot of the children. The Biden administration really puts a lot of effort into finding the parents of these children, and a lot of stuff is going to come out about that, and it's going to be very hard, very heartbreaking. There's going to be a lot of stories that come out that have been hidden, that have been pushed, underground, so we couldn't see it or talk about it, whatever. We're gonna hear firsthand accounts of things and stuff like that, stuff that's been kind of hidden. I think what else I wrote, because I did readings earlier, and then I thought I would just do kind of a live reading to see what else they can tell us about the next maybe 90 days, maybe till the end of till Biden takes over till January. So I'm going to just go ahead and ask for anything else that my guides want to tell us. I just heard the phrase out of left field. I think it has to do with Trump. So something kind of is unexpectedly comes for him, about him or for him. And I think it's something weird. I mean, surprise, surprise, like everything about him is weird, but it seems like it's like, where did this come from? It's, yeah, out of left field, something comes for Trump. There's going to be a lot of people going to jail next year. Stuff that's been hidden is going to be found. But there's going to be a lot of people going to jail. Whistleblowers, a lot of whistleblowers. People that, I'm seeing people taking pictures of like documents and stuff right now. I feel like this is happening now. People are like taking their phones and taking pictures of documents before they get rid of them or something, but there are people that have kept things. And it's all coming out. They're watching Donald Trump. They're going to be watching him for years. They know things. They know about him. They know what he's doing. They know, wait. They know what he's doing. It's something about secrets. I think he's selling secrets or promising secrets or something. Someone just said treason. The money goes. He's going to lose a lot of money, he and his family. I don't see them running or doing anything in 2024. I feel like all the information is out. Everything comes out between now and then. And nobody wants anything to do with them. McConnell's going to go. There's a shakeup. There's a shakeup with the senators and the RNC and stuff. So the people that were put in shouldn't get too comfortable. There's going to be a shakeup. We're going to find out. It's all coming out. Everything's coming out. And there's going to be changes made, big changes made, because some of the things that people have done, they're morally wrong, but they were actually legal. There's things that like trading favors, getting money and trading favors and things like that. So they're going to change a lot of things. Donald Trump is not healthy at all. I don't even know. I mean, for entertainment purposes only, I don't even know if he'll make it to 2024, to be honest. I feel like he's very, very sick. And I feel like the amount of stress he's going to be under over the next few years is going to be pretty awful. And he loses a lot. There's a lot of stuff that he loses. He's in and out of reality right now. It's kind of like he realizes what's coming and he'll panic. And so he'll say to himself, well, maybe we can turn this around, or maybe I can, it's not realistic, but he's playing these mind games with himself, trying to keep his worries down, his nervousness down, but he's very worried about the future. And he has very dark moods right now. Like I feel like there's times when he just completely shuts himself off from people. He's on the phone a lot. I don't know why they're showing that. He's on the phone a lot, calling people, trying to get advice, people to help him, call in favors. It's like he's on the phone constantly. The kids are worried too, but he doesn't know what to tell them. He doesn't have anything to tell them. He doesn't know what to tell them. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. I hope that was coherent. I felt like it was coming in pieces, so I hope that was coherent information. See if there's anything else. I don't think so, not right now. Peaceful transfer of power, I just heard. So it's going to, it's going to change hands. We're going to change hands. Don't worry about that. There will be a peaceful transfer of power. Oh, one thing I wanted to say that I got this actually this morning. I was looking at the MAGA march, the march they did yesterday, and I started to hear like punk music, and I knew what it was. In the 70s, the punk movement started in England because of the terrible economic situation, and a lot of young people felt a lot of despair, and it was a lot of white young men that felt a lot of despair. They had a lot of unions that were busted, so they didn't have good paying jobs, and a lot of things were happening in England at the time where a lot of people did not have good paying jobs, and it was just looked very bleak. And so, and that was also kind of where the skinhead movement, or the white supremacist movement kind of built up there, was through that. And one thing I got was that they're going to try to siphon off Trump supporters through economic stuff. I saw them building factories in like really remote like areas, like the Midwest and in the South, places where factories and things had, like manufacturing had gone away from. They're going to put manufacturing there, and a lot of it has to do with like wind power, solar power. But I saw a huge thing in automotive stuff, like automobile things. I don't know if it's like the electric car or like something, but because it felt like it was very, very new. But they were training all of these people to work in this industry, and it had to do with auto stuff, the automobile industry. And they were building them in all these kind of remote places that had lost a lot of manufacturing jobs, and that it's going to work. That's going to work. So, and so Trump will lose a lot of support just because people will have hope again. They'll have something to, they'll have something to make their life better. And so, extremism grows out of people in despair. And so that's kind of what they're wanting to do, is approach it from that angle. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. I thought that was interesting. That just came to me this morning. So I thought that was very exciting and very, very cool. Okay, so I'm going to pull a surrender card because I know that the next few weeks are going to be kind of challenging as far as the pandemic and, stuff that you're going to be seeing on the news and things like that. So, do what you know to do, be very, someone just said something about being centered. So find your center, things that center you, good things, happy things, things that make you feel centered. And by centered, I just mean grounded. You kind of, that everything's okay. That feeling of like everything's okay. So whatever that is, if it's a good movie or if it's comfort food or if it's, being with your pets or calling your mom or whatever that is, find those things that center you, make you feel grounded, make you feel like everything's okay. I'm okay. So somebody just said that. So I just heard, centered. Make sure that you're centered. You find your center, and that will help a lot. Okay. So I'm going to run my hand over these beautiful cards. They look like these. They're very beautiful cards. And they're the surrender cards that I love. So I'm going to just run my hand right over them and pick out a couple for us for the next, I would say, we'll say 3 or 4 weeks. And if I need to do more, I will, but I will do like the next few weeks for us. Okay. These are, like I said, these are scarily what you need to know, because you kind of don't know what you need to hear. And then when you see it, you're like, oh yes, of course. That's what these cards do. They're awesome. So the first one is to surrender to wonder and awe. It looks like this. I love the pictures. They're very beautiful. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. The attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. And to me, this card, when I'm even just looking at this card, I'm thinking of things like the arts, music, good movies, beautiful artwork. Even, and if you do those things, being more invested in things like that. And also, looking at amazing musicians and things like that. Human beings are amazing, in their way to deal with things, and all of the things that we have invented, and all of the things we've discovered, all of the amazing art that we've created. So I think that it's telling us to kind of connect with those things and find our own flow. If you're a writer, or if you're a painter, or if you're a musician, or if you want to start thinking about a new business plan for next year, that kind of stuff, get kind of into the things that that make us and us being in the world awesome, right? So wonder and awe, surrender to wonder and awe. And I think too, reading spiritual things, doing, you can do the classes that I have, you can do, getting into this kind of stuff that's, working with cards, or picking up something like that, that's kind of just other, makes you think bigger, right? Bigger picture, and makes you really realize what's really wonderful about the world. Okay. And then this one, surrender to what is. That's going to kind of probably be a mantra for the next little while, because, Eckhart Tolle always says that, he's a spiritual teacher. Eckhart Tolle always says that most of our dissatisfaction comes from wanting this moment to be different than what it is. Whether it's standing in line at the grocery store, you get fidgety and angry because you have to stand in line, or just a period of time. I've had a hard time with, being separated from Cassie. For those of you who don't know, she's overseas, and she's, we're kind of stuck apart because of the pandemic and everything that's happening. But I think of what I am getting out of this time. And I think of that this time, even though there are yucky things about it, it's not necessarily true that it should be anything else than what it is. It is what it is. And when you can kind of ground yourself in the reality of that, it helps you to kind of decide, okay, now what? Now, so this is the way it is. And I can see this is the way it is. And I accept this is what's happening right now. I don't like it, but I'm accepting that this is what's happening right now. Now what? Right? So that's why you do that. So then you can kind of figure out what's next. Once you've accepted what is happening right now. If you're fighting with the present moment all the time, you're fighting with what's happening, it wastes your time and your energy. So look where you are, accept what is, and then think, okay, I see where I am. Now what? What can I do? Okay, so surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. That's what we just talked about. That's why these cards are so amazing. It's what we just talked about. So, and it is when you accept what is in the present moment, it is an act of compassion for yourself. It's having you, decide to let down your guard, be in this moment, imperfect as it is. I can look around and tell you 10 things I don't like about this moment. From the government to whatever is going on, but it is what it is. And where do I go for? Well, right now I'm going to go down. I'm going to have dinner. We're going to watch a movie. I'm going to call Cassie in the morning. Those little things that make life a little easier, pleasant in the moment, right? So I hope this helps you guys going forward, I want to thank you so much for the amazing comments, the amazing emails, the amazing feedback I've gotten for my classes. I appreciate it so much. I can't tell you. I've loved the mentoring sessions that I've been doing. I've been learning so much because the people I talk to will ask questions, and then I'll ask my guides or ask their guides, and I'll get these amazing answers back. And I've learned a ton through the mentoring sessions, and I'm hoping to do another video in probably January to kind of add on to some of the questions people have been asking, and so I can kind of add on to the series a little bit. But if you're interested in doing the classes, they're there. They'll be there. So there's 3 of them, and they come as a box set as 3. And you go to intuitiview.com and go to pricing, scroll down, you'll see the description, scroll down further, you can buy them if you want to. And there they are. That's there. I don't have any appointments right now, but I will be adding appointments for the rest of 2021 in March. And you can go to intuitiview.com and just press on the thing to make an appointment, because I periodically will, somebody will cancel, or I'll put a couple of dates will come free. So I'll just put some dates up there. So just keep checking back, and you might be able to just grab one. And those, I just put them up when I can. So just go ahead and check that every so often, and then check March 1st. You can make appointments for the second half of the year. So there's that. I think that's about everything. I think that's it. One last thing. My daughter, Cassie, she just graduated from film school. She's looking to do some stuff for editing. So if you have any editing projects, or you're starting you have a YouTube channel or whatever, let me know if you're interested in talking to her about her doing some editing for you. She would like to do some editing for people. She's just starting out her career. So she's actually a screenwriter and a director, but she knows how to do a lot of things. She loves everything to do with film. So I told her I would just mention on the channel, because why not? Why not? Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. I'll probably be on maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, and we'll talk soon. Check out the Celestial Kris. Check out that little conversation we had. It was really fun. And like I said, I find other readers fun to watch and see how they do what they do and the answers they get. And it's very interesting. So I hope everyone's has a good few weeks, and I'll talk to you in a couple of days. Okay. Bye, guys.